Good morning, Western Slope. Happy Wednesday. I'm Dalen Brazelton. Let's talk about your weather. Folks, it's going to be a great one today here. Temperatures just a little bit below average, tons of cloud coverage in the sky, and just the slightest chance that the valley may even be seeing some showers for today. We've got a beautiful mid-60s morning happening in the Grand Valley, and of course we got a couple more hours of this, so I would enjoy it while it's abound. We've got about a 10% chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, as temperatures are just a little bit below the average for today. However, we do have that warming trend happening throughout the week, so get ready for conditions to really start to heat up at the tail end of things. Right now though, you're waking up to 64 degrees in Glade Park, Grand Junction, and in Montrose. Paonia also seeing those mid-60s, with Nucla and Delta hanging out near the 60s as well. Moab seeing similar conditions to most of the Western Slope right now. We're seeing a pretty mild start to the day here, and of course we've got those mild conditions for a couple hours longer before things really start to increase. We've got, for a majority of the day, those mid to upper 80s here. Now, as we head throughout the afternoon, we will be touching into the 90s at the peak, but a majority of it going to be hanging out in these upper 80s here. It's going to be mostly clear conditions, although some times of the day we'll be having an increase of that cloud coverage throughout the day. For that dog walking forecast, we got Virgil hanging out with us here all week long, and if you would like to send me a picture of your best friend to be featured on the dog walking forecast, send me an email at dbrazelton@krextv.com or shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram at BrazeltonWX. But this morning is shaping up to be a great one to take your dog out for a walk. We got those mid-60s, very little wind speeds, partly cloudy conditions even for those morning hours to keep you nice and cool, and things kind of starting to warm up throughout the day, but not nearly as intensely as we've been seeing in previous days. Now, keep in mind though, just because we have a decrease in wind speeds doesn't mean that that pollen is going to completely settle down. Grasses are the main concern for your allergies, hanging out in that high category, with weeds and mold in that low section as well. So could still be feeling a little bit stuffy as we're heading into the second half of this week. Now, the big story today, folks, is going to be that rain potential. We've got that happening across the Central Mountains, maybe pushing into the Front Range today as well. And you can see just barely skating alongside the Western Slope. But does that mean anything as far as rainfall for us? Well, not really. When I mentioned 10% of showers, a lot of it is mainly going to be concentrated in those higher elevations. Over the course of the next couple of days, Grand Junction may be seeing 1/100th of an inch of rainfall, but most things considered, it's going to be concentrated in those lower areas in the map, and then of course in those higher elevation regions near the Central Mountains as well. So keep all that in mind. It's mainly going to be falling near Aspen, Glenwood Springs, and maybe, just maybe, on the Grand Mesa, but things probably expected to stay relatively dry here with very low wind speeds right now. Grand Junction hardly seeing anything. Glade Park picking up a little bit, and then those gusty outflow winds being pretty consistent throughout the day here today. Of course, increasing a little bit as we head throughout the day, but all things considered, it's shaping up to be a very mild one indeed for the day. As we're taking a look ahead though at that Discovery Auto Group 7-day forecast, we got 90s in the forecast today and tomorrow, and you get the picture here. It's going to keep getting warmer, Western Slope, where next week we may be even seeing triple-digit conditions. Montrose slightly cooler, seeing those mid-80s for today and tomorrow, and then getting back up into the 90s. It's called a warming trend, people, and we're definitely starting to experience that, so get ready for some warmer conditions.